my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know why y'all were in such a rush to see this. Y'all were like, it's too much dialogue. Let us see battles. Let us see the dragons fight. Well, you got what you wanted, and I hope you're happy now. I have never cried so much watching an episode of TV. I feel like really crazy right now. Like, I am gutted, and this reaction happens when the writers understand the assignment. Hold on. Let me get myself together. I'll be right back. Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with the juice. Are y'all doing all right? Are y'all okay? I know this is a fantasy story and the dragons aren't real, but this universe has been my escape, my best friend for years, and I've always imagined what certain things look like, how certain things went down, and I know it's the same for a lot of you, and I just feel like Ryan Condal understands the assignment. It was just a really, 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 really good emotional episode from beginning to end. And now that I've gathered myself, we're going to break everything down because a lot happened in the 56 minutes of this episode. So this episode was written by Ryan Condal and it was directed by Alan Taylor. So people always gassed Miguel, and don't get me wrong, Miguel's great, but Alan Taylor is OG Game of Thrones. He directed some of the best episodes that made Game of Thrones: Baelor when Ned's beheaded, Fire and Blood when Daenerys hatches dragons. But Alan Taylor did his big one with this episode. So the episode starts with Daemon having another weirwood dream. He walks into the throne room and he's hearing whispers and muffled sounds, but it's Rhaenyra, young Rhaenyra, and she's on the throne with Viserys' crown. She's speaking Valyrian and she says, "You created me, Daemon, but you're set on destroying me." Now, listen, I saw something in the trailer that looked like, I'm going to just say, I hope they're not going to try to make Rhaenyra Daemon's daughter, because that will be, no. All because my father loved me more than you. He cuts her head off and her head is still talking. Like, yeah, this is what you always wanted to do. Listen, this scene is creepy, right? And Daemon haters will probably use this scene to say, see, I told you he always wanted the throne. No, the Weirwoods in Harrenhal are messing with him. See, Daemon is a true Targaryen and being Dragonlord. Dragonlord, Blood of the Dragon, a dragon rider, their blood runs hot. They have to constantly check their worst impulses. And we see previously that Rhaenyra talks to him and tells him of the darkness that he keeps sheathed inside of him. And I feel all Targaryens have this darkness that they try to keep sheathed in them, not feeding your worst impulses. Of course, Daemon was upset when Viserys disinherited him and named Rhaenyra as his heir, but he wasn't upset with her. He was upset with Otto and Viserys. He doesn't want the throne. He doesn't want to take anything from her. He doesn't want to use her as a tool to grasp for power. Like, she asked him to marry her. She said, "I need you, uncle." I'm going to go back to the dreams in 1 second, but Daemon is awoken. Sir Simon says there's been a raven. And can we just say, like, Sir Simon has the drip. He's like, Harrenhal is leaking. I don't care. Look at this drip. He's spending the whole renovation budget on his wardrobe. But Sir Simon fills Daemon in on everything that's going on with the Greens. There's also a black goat just chilling in Harrenhal, as if Harrenhal couldn't be any more scarier. But let's talk about this black goat, right? It could be just the black goat chilling there, but it's hard to tell if Daemon is still dreaming when he sees the goat, because his dreams and his real life seem to be blending together. So in A Song of Ice and Fire, there is a group called the Brave Companions. Their commander was Vargo Hoat. They're basically sellswords, sometimes called the Bloody Murmurs. The banner was the black goat. So it looks like Daemon could be getting a glimpse of the future, because in A Song of Ice and Fire, the books, Tywin Lannister hires the Brave Companions and Vargo Hoat takes Harrenhal. In Game of Thrones, in the show, Vargo Hoat is represented by this character named Locke that takes Jaime and his hand. But if he's not seeing the future in some weird weirwood waking state, then maybe the black goat is there for another reason. See, in Qohor, the religion is the black goat. The black goat is a dark religion. Like in Qohor, they have daily sacrifices to the black goat, and on their holidays, criminals, humans, get sacrificed to the black goat, and highborn families give their children as sacrifices to the black goat. This is similar to how weirwoods are fed, old and dark. The writers of the series have said that Alys Rivers is 400 years old, so I wonder if the black goat is like tied to her. I don't think so, though. I think it's Daemon getting a glimpse of the future. Vargo Hoat, the black goat, will come to Harrenhal. But anyway, Greenseer, Daemon, confirmed. Daemon meets with Oscar Tully, the grandson of Grover Tully. So in Game of Thrones, Catelyn Stark, her dad was a Tully. She was the daughter of the Lord of Riverrun and Lord Paramount of the Riverlands, Lord Hoster Tully. So the Tullys are the liege lords of all of the Riverlands. And Lord Grover is in the same state Catelyn's father was in Game of Thrones. Also, just so y'all know, just so you're aware, the Tullys in this time period are all named after Sesame Street. So we have Oscar, Grover, there will be an Elmo, a Bert, and an Ernie. Daemon suggests the boy off his granddad. Little Lord Oscar is like, oh my God, he clutches his pearls. He is appalled. Daemon is like, listen, never mind. You will be of no help to me. Go head on. Go back to Riverrun. Summon the Blackwoods here. Bring me the river thugs. And then our beautiful, brave Princess Rhaenys is in Driftmark. She knows who Alan is. Alan is Corlys's bastard son. She does not care. She doesn't seem to be bothered. And as always, she's fighting for the rights of Corlys's blood. She wants Alan to be raised up and honored and not hidden. And in this moment, I could not love her more. I love Rhaenys. Catelyn Stark could never. She would have sent Alan to the wall. It's so smart, so politically sound of Baela to send for them to come to Dragonstone. So we get a scene with Alicent with the Maester, and she's taking Moonty. Yes, babe, Moonty. So that means that she's pregnant with Kristen Cole's bastard, and she's taking Moonty, which is Westerosi Plan B, to rid herself of this spawn. And I could not be more happy for her, because her BD would be totally psycho. But also, right, she asked the Grand Maester if she thought Viserys wanted Aegon to be king. Now, the Maester is looking like, girl, you know. And he just sidesteps all of it and is like, I don't know. But let's talk about Alicent for a minute without being mean. Listen, the position that she's in is a really impossible one. Could this situation have been avoided? No. The moment Viserys had a son, Alicent had two options: roll with her dad or roll with Rhaenyra. She chose her dad. But while she has a lot of secondary involvement, there's nothing she could have done to avoid this war. She just wouldn't have been a part of it. But the dragon she's playing with, the dragon that she has in her hand, is the dragon that she gave Viserys when she was a child. And the fact that it's broken, foreshadowing. Anyway, Rhaenys is back at Rhaenyra's council with Jace and Baela. Sir Alfred is always popping them gums. Loose the dragons, loose the dragons. But Baela checks him. Maybe you can burn them next time on your dragon. Yeah, that's right. Shut it down. Jace backs her up, and I love baby breakbones. They also mention the Riverlands and how Daemon has so much to entangle. It's like untangling a Lyseni orgy, and the Lyseni are freaks. That's a good one. Actually, that's a really good one. Clever. Lord Celtigar asks Baela if she's heard word from her father. She says, no. They are restless without Daemon there to keep their ass in check. And they are also restless because they haven't heard from Daemon. And with Rhaenyra gone, they are really restless. It was so smart of Baela to send for Rhaenys. Like, help me, grandmother. Help bring this together. Daemon's leaving everyone's texts on red because he's hurt. He has a wounded ego, but he has something to prove. and he's going to prove it. And they're not going to hear from him until he does prove it. Sir Alfred is a troublemaker. He doesn't respect Rhaenys because she's not named hand. I don't think he really respects Rhaenyra either. But Big Daddy Sea Snake comes in there and gets everybody together real quick. Lord Celtigar actually seems relieved, to be honest. He seems relieved, like, finally, someone to lead us. Then we get to Duskendale. Duskendale is ruled by House Darkling. Rhaenyra's Kingsguard is Sir Stephen Darkling. So what we are not shown on the screen is that not that many people actually support Aegon. Like, it hasn't really been made clear on the screen. Like, he gets Storm's End only because Aemond agrees to marry one of Lord Boros's daughters. Like, if Lucerys Valeriana was free, listen, let me spill tea real quick. If Lucerys Valerian was free to marry, Aemond would not have gotten Storm's End. You may say, Aemond is a Targaryen prince. He's fourth in line to inherit the throne through Aegon. He also has a dragon. He's a dragon rider. Lucerys is a Targaryen prince. He's second in line to inherit the Iron Throne through his mother. But he's also the heir of Driftmark, the Driftwood throne, and future Lord of the Tides. The immeasurable wealth of House Valerian would have been enough for the Storm King by itself. Storm's End would have definitely sided with Rhaenyra and chose Lucerys over Aemond, and Aemond would have burned Storm's End to the ground. But also the reach, like House Tyrell, Highgarden doesn't even really support Aegon. House Tyrell refuses to take part in the war, and most of all the houses of the Reach support Rhaenyra, and that's saying a lot because Old Town is in the Reach, and the Hightowers should have been able to count on them, and they couldn't. House Hightower and the Redwynes of the Arbor are the only houses from the Reach that side with Aegon. Rhaenyra has the North. Rhaenyra has the Vale. All the Crownland houses also sided with Rhaenyra. But what Crispin Cole does is he marches on these castles and he takes them. Crispin Cole marches on Rosby and Stokeworth, kills those loyal to Rhaenyra, and adds the rest to his host, and then ends up sacking Duskendale. But Lord Darkling was a real one. He read Crispin Cole to filth, calls him the Kingmaker, on him, and tells him he soils the White Cloak, which I'm sure cut him really deep. He calls him a Kingmaker, which one of the most famous Kingmakers of all time in our real history is Richard Neville, the Earl of Warwick. He was instrumental in the War of Roses, and I feel like Kristen Cole's kind of Nah, not really. But Crispin says, I'm giving you a better death than you deserve, traitor. And Lord Darkling says, yours will come in kind. And I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for it. I will watch it on a loop. I keep getting a lot of comments asking why I call Sir Criston Cole Crispin. And it's from Daemon. I know his name. Please, I know his name. But I don't like to use it. Disrespect. Anyway, I like Gwaine Hightower. I like him. I'm sorry. He's giving. He's always calling Crispin stupid and low-key dissing him, and I love it. I love all the sass. Aegon is pissed that Daemon has taken Harrenhal. When he screams at Larys, like, it's your castle. I was like, yeah, it is your castle. And Larys is like, listen, Linda. The castle is more crippled than me. And he says it's likely to drive Daemon to madness before he makes use of it. Which Harrenhal is certainly messing with Daemon's head, and I can't wait to get into that in a minute. So we can find out that Aemon and Criston Cole have been plotting behind the king's back, which we already seen happening in the first episode of season 2, and which if Aegon had not fired Otto as Hand of the King, none of this would be happening because Otto had peeped game in episode 1. So Aemon starts speaking very fluent Valyrian, to which Aegon can barely understand. Aegon can barely speak it back. He says, I make war, or something pathetic. Aemon embarrasses Aegon in front of his council, just how Aegon embarrasses Aemon in front of the people in the brothel. But see, they've been raised this way. They've seen their mother embarrass their sister, calling her kids bastards and making her walk through the castle after she's just given birth. So what do you expect from them? They can only do what they've seen. But like, being embarrassed in a brothel is not as worse as undermining your brother at a war council. Listen, Aegon is just not cut out for this. He never wanted this. He never wanted to do this. He never thought this cup would pass to him. It's not something he was ever prepared for. And to be honest, this council is probably looking like Aemon really looks like the better choice at this table of men. Alicent is using hot rocks to make her medieval heating pad, and she meets with Larys. He knows she has used the moon tea. She don't try to hide it. There's no need to try to hide it. Alicent's bedroom is filled with books. Larys says that she does not seem herself, and she reads him to filth in the most eloquent, nice way. Olivia Cook was a beast this episode. I truly see her stepping into her power. She has books everywhere, and Larys seems confused about it. He asks Alicent, do you doubt his intentions? And the answer is yes, she does doubt his intentions. She's scouring through history books trying to find the Song of Ice and Fire. She might actually find it. Rhaegar is rumored to have read a book and then decided to become a warrior. But Alys says Viserys' intentions died with him. And she's 100% going to stand on business, but her realizing that she was wrong or made a mistake is killing her. It's going to eat away at her. But no matter how that makes her feel, she knows now that just like Rhaenyra, Aegon has to win his claim or they die. So let's talk about Daemon's dream sequence. He wakes up, sees what he thinks is Aemon, not gonna lie, walks like Aemon, all that, but when he turns around, it's Daemon with a patch on his eye. This could be meaning a lot of things. It could be like, Daemon, you're gonna face off with Aemon. It could be something like that. It could mean Aemon wants to be Daemon, which I've always thought, dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling, you know? Aemon, Sheehan version of Daemon, straight from Temu. But he walks into the kitchen and it's Alys Rivers. So he talks to Alys and she's making something and my jaw was on the floor. Do y'all see what she's making? It looks like she's making weirwood paste and she gives it to Daemon. If you don't know what weirwood paste is, it's made by the Children of the Forest and they made it for Bran to enhance his powers. The paste is made from weirwood seeds and sap, but some believe that Bran had some of Jojen in it. And after Daemon drinks this, his visions ramp up. So she tells Daemon that he's been sleeping in a weirwood bed and asks him about his dreams. She's like, you come here after quarreling with your wife. Do you plan to make your own claim? She's experiencing his dreams with him. She's messing with him. No, he's not going to make his own claim, but she says, here, drink this. You need your sleep if you're to win this place to your side. And you may think she's talking about the Riverlands, but she's not. She's talking about the Children of the Forest and the weirwoods and the castle itself that has weirwoods growing through it. And if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, please go watch my video. It's called The Dark Truth of Harrenhal. So he ends up waking up in a meeting with Sir Willem Blackwood. He's all grown up. He's ruling until Benjicott comes of age. So he's ruling in places of Bloody Ben. Daemon is having all kinds of visions. He's like in and out of visions. But Willem brings up the meeting he had with Rhaenyra in Storm's End. And he says she had the true blood of the dragon. I always liked her spirit. Then he gets a vision of Laena and my jaw was on the floor. Because Daemon really loved Laena, but also, like, he's wide awake and getting visions. Willem wants Daemon to bring the Queen's justice to the Brackens. And when he does, he will have the Blackwood men. Aegon is in his council. Aegon is bored to death. See, this is why I say, like, Daemon never would have wanted the throne, because he never had the patience for court and council. So Aegon leaves his council and goes to his room to find his mother. Alicent is looking for Viserys' books, but Aegon has thrown them out, which is another hint at Aegon being stupid and not knowing anything about his history of his own family or caring to know. But it's also a hint that Alicent is still scouring books looking for this prophecy. It's not in the books, babe. It's on the dagger, though. Ask Aemon to hold it to the fire. Anyway, Alicent in this scene goes full F around and find out on Aegon, which I loved it because this is how I imagine Book Alicent. Book Alicent was so much more savage. She chastises Aegon. She's irritated that he isn't just like chilling and letting the council handle things. She's irritated that he's fired Otto. She's irritated that he hung all the rat catchers. She's irritated that he treats his council as they are useless and just is running around making a mess of everything he touches. Like, I feel bad for Aegon because he wants to prove that he can be efficient, that he can do this. But she says all they need him to do is nothing. And sometimes nothing is hard to do. Olivia Cook ate this scene up. She left no crumbs. But anyway, Cole is leading his hosts to Rooks Rest. Gwaine Hightower, love him to pieces. Like, the sass he gives Kristen Cole makes my heart flutter. Are you grown tired of living, have ya? But anyway, Rhaenyra is back at Dragonstone. They fill my babe in on what's going on, and Jace is pissed with his mama. So Stefan Darkling finds out about his father. Kristen Cole beheaded his dad. Jace asks his mother where she's been. He's pissed at her. Rhaenyra says, we win my claim or die. Jace says, we stand at the ready. We need to send a dragon. Rhaenyra says, there are those who have mistaken my caution for weakness. Let that be their undoing. Bring on bloodthirsty Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra volunteers to go. Jace is like, no, if you die, all is lost. Rhaenys says, you must send me, your grace. Meleys is your biggest dragon and no stranger to war. Let's talk about the Red Queen Meleys right quick. So Meleys was actually the dragon of Alyssa Targaryen, Daemon and Viserys' mother. When they were born, both Daemon and Viserys, as newborns, Alyssa strapped them to her chest and took them on their first dragon flight on Meleys. I don't remember when Meleys was ever in battle, but I'm pretty sure Rhaenys and Meleys might have helped Corlys in the Stepstones, just as Laenor did. The Stepstones War went on for years, and we just saw the end of it the last season, not the whole war. Rhaenys says, I will meet Cole. And I lost it. Like, I lost it. I think it's worse when you know what's going to happen, when you know what they're building up to. I could not stop crying. In King's Landing, Aegon is stewing. His mother just basically told him, we don't need you for anything other than your name. I mean, imagine being told this by your mom. He's going to prove a point, but also he's drunk. He's been in his cups. He gets up, and I know what he's about to do because the golden vase with the golden dragon gets shattered and stepped on. Oh my God. I couldn't control the tears. Rhaenyra grabs Jace and starts to tell him the prophecy of Aegon's dream, the song of ice and fire. Viserys told her in front of Balerion Skull, and she told Jace in front of Meraxes' skull. Balerion was Aegon the Conqueror's dragon. Meraxes was the dragon of Aegon the Conqueror's sister wife, Rhaenys. And the moment I've been waiting for finally comes, and I was bawling. We finally see Sunfyre, like really see him, and I've never been more happy and sad at the same time. Aegon is in full armor, the chest bump from Sunfyre, Aegon's smile, him calming him. Sunfyre looks to be the only thing that's ever loved him. I just started bawling. He hugs him, and the chest bump was totally like a bro fist bump from a dragon. And honestly, the love that Sunfyre has for Aegon should be studied, because we have tons of dragon lore, but like when we get into Aegon and Sunfyre, it hits different. It really hits different. Then we have Rhaenys walking to Meleys, saying, we're off to battle again, old girl. And I lost it. Meleys and Rhaenys forever, bro. I can't even talk about it. Like, I can't talk about it. I'm crying again. It's so heartbreaking. Meleys and Rhaenys have such a bond. Rhaenys refused to leave Meleys last season in King's Landing. She's like, I'm not leaving without Meleys. And we're going to talk about that. But Rhaenyra tells Jace, I never told you because I wasn't sure if I believed it myself. She's speaking over the dragons going to war, but if Rhaenyra had any doubts, knowing that Aegon's dream was the last thing her dad talked about upon leaving this world, she knows her dad has answered her question, and she's going to be motivated by so much more than the crown. We have Meleys leaving Dragonstone and Sunfyre leaving King's Landing, and Sunfyre, oh my God. Kristen Cole is attacking Rooks Rest, and in comes Meleys. But Cole and Aemond have a plan. Crispin gives the signal. Vhagar and Aemond are hiding in the bushes, and Vhagar looks like a damn dinosaur. She really looks lazy. Aegon and Sunfyre have arrived. Geralt is pissed. He's like, bro, this was your plan, you idiot. The king? Aemond is also pissed, and he tells Vhagar to wait. Aemon's like, this idiot. Aegon stupidly says Dracarys to Sunfyre, But Rhaenys says, ankles, Meleys, and Sunfyre gets fucked up. And I feel bad because Sunfyre deserves better. But you don't tell a dragon to burn another dragon. This is how you know both of them have no experience with dragon warfare. So Aegon sees Aemond and he's happy, like, thank God, my brother is here. And Aemond Dracarys is him. And he starts falling from the sky again. So Crispin Cole runs to him. Rhaenys wants Vhagar, though. Rhaenys wants Vhagar. Killing Vhagar ends this war, especially with Sunfyre already down. She tells Meleys to attack again, and she straps herself in. She's ready to die with her dragon to end this war. She wants to kill Vhagar, and she almost does. Like, can we just please give props to the Red Queen? She almost kills Vhagar. Vhagar catches her by the foot, barely. They claw at each other. They're burning each other. They're dancing around the sky, and Meleys throws Vhagar to the ground. Vhagar is on the ground, stepping on their allies, killing them. Dragon warfare is intense, bloody, and heartbreaking. The way Meleys kept looking at Rhaenys, checking for Rhaenys, the eye contact they make with each other, the way Rhaenys sounds heartbroken given the commands. Rhaenys is looking for Vhagar, but Vhagar is hiding. She sneaks up on Meleys and gets her around the neck. And as Meleys is dying, she never takes her eyes off of Rhaenys, and Rhaenys never takes her eyes off of Meleys. Rhaenys opens her arms and welcomes death, and she falls to her death with her dragon. Crispin somehow lives. Ash and bone is everywhere. Meleys took out one dragon, almost took out a second, and turned Crispin's army to ashes. Aemond is about to kill Aegon, but Cole stops him. Aemond wants to be the king. Aemond thinks he deserves to be the king over Aegon, and Aemond doesn't like Aegon. Sunfyre and Aegon are both hurt badly. But when it comes to Meleys and Rhaenys, I already know people are going to be like, she could have gotten away. She could have ran away. But in the book, she doesn't run away. She doesn't run away when she knows she's facing 2 dragons. She dies a dragon's rider's death. That's what her character would do. She does it trying to end the war. Princess Rhaenys made no attempt to flee. With a glad cry and a crack of her whip, she turned Meleys towards the foe. Against Vhagar alone, she might have had some chance. But against Vhagar and Sunfyre together, doom was certain. Well, Sunfyre, she tore you up, baby. And Vhagar, she almost had your big ass. She almost had you. Long live Meleys, the Red Queen, and Rhaenys, the Queen who never was. Beloved daughter of Lady Jocelyn Baratheon and Prince Aemon Targaryen, faithful wife to Corlys Velaryon, mother and grandmother, the queen who never was, lived fearlessly, and died amidst blood and fire. She was 55 years old. I'm heartbroken. This episode was so hard to watch, bro. And Daemon was right about Vhagar. Vhagar would not stand a chance against Meleys and Caraxes together. It would not have happened. When this news reaches Dragonstone, it will break the hearts of so many. Corlys, Baela, Jace, Rhaenyra. Rhaenys' death will change the dynamics of this war. She has been Rhaenyra's biggest supporter and the only voice of reason on her council. So all of you that wanted bloodthirsty Rhaenyra, you're gonna get it. Next week is gonna be insane. But what did you think of this episode? Are you okay? Oh my God, it was a lot. As always, thanks for watching.